Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Revealing the Narc, and on this channel we dive deep into the intriguing world of narcissism. I'll often use public figures as examples to illustrate how these behaviors can manifest in real life. If this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe. I should mention also that everything I say is in my opinion, and any theories or hypotheticals that I might bring up, these are all allegedly. So let's get into the article of the day. This article was just published and is called Prince Harry Changed When He Met Meghan Markle and Cut Us All. I don't want to say that word, says expert. Prince Harry used to be so much fun before he met Meghan Markle, says a leading royal photographer. And we all know how much a narcissist can really change a person. It's really sad to see, and you can see how Harry himself has deteriorated. Regardless of all of the negative things that he has done, that man is a worn down man with a lack of self-esteem, a very, very low self-value. I mean, he isn't healthy, even though right now he's on this royal tour and I wouldn't call it a royal tour, but he's out by himself and he looks happier because he's escaped from under Meghan's thumb. Once he's back, he's going to look like that same defeated man. The article continues. Prince Harry changed dramatically after he started dating Meghan Markle and cut everyone, a royal photographer has claimed. The Duke of Sussex has been married to the Duchess since 2018, but their love story began sometime in 2016 when they began dating and he fell head over heels with her. I find it very hilarious that they're not saying July of 2016, which is when they allegedly met, but I believe they met in May of 2016, allegedly, and the meeting in May of 2016 makes it very complicated because at the time she was still dating and lived with her previous boyfriend. Harry and Meghan now live in Montecito, California after they quit their royal duties and moved across the pond in 2020, just 2 years after their wedding. And honestly, this just clicked to me that narcissists like to isolate their victim. And what greater way to isolate your victim than to move them across the world into a country where they don't really know a lot of people. I mean, it's genius if you're Meghan, right? Oh man, I just made this connection. And now the Sun's royal photographer Arthur Edwards, who has been a royal snapper for 45 years, spoke out about his own experience with the prince and how he allegedly changed after meeting Meghan. He told the outlet's live show, he used to say, "I'll do everything I can to make it good for you." And that's what shocked me when he just cut us all that word, that one time up in Manchester. I'll never forget, and I was shocked. And it was just the day he met Meghan or the day he fell in love with Meghan, and it's all changed since then. I feel sad about that because he was a fabulous person to work with. Mr. Edwards added that Harry used to be so much fun during royal engagements before the change. He said, "I remember when he met the Jamaican Prime Minister, instead of saying, 'Hello, ma'am, pleased to meet you,' he just hugged her. And I said, 'What did you do that for?' And he said, 'Because my father said she likes a hug, so I thought I'd get in first.' And that's what he was like. It was so much fun." He really does sound pretty nice, right? Caring and compassionate and empathetic. Oh, it makes you so sad. I realized that there were reports, even back then, that he may not have been nice to women. He may have gone a little overboard, and I guess what I want to say is that he wasn't a shell of a man, and I think he did the best he could with what he had. I'm curious to know your opinions. Like, in no way am I dismissing his behavior when he was a teenager or in his early 20s. He still had a lot of inappropriate behavior. It's just really nice to hear these stories of how he really tried to feel other people's feelings and just go the extra mile. I don't know. Let me know what you think. He added, and then we went to Brazil and he playing football with the kids on the beach and he's running a road race. And as he finished the race, he had a picture of William on his face. I'm not sure what that means. He was fun and he was surprising. I'm not sure what that means. He had a picture of Will, like a mask maybe. I don't know, but it's kind of refreshing to hear this story. And I'll be honest, I saw some video clips of Harry doing royal duties before he met Meghan, and he really did seem like such a nice guy. He was very passionate about it. He was great with children. It's changed quite a bit in a very short amount of time. To close this video off, I wanted to talk about 5 things that can happen to someone after they've been romantically involved with a narcissist. The first is eroded self-esteem. The constant criticism and manipulation can make you doubt your worth and abilities, leading to diminished self-esteem. A lot of times you can actually physically see this in the person. The posture might be lowered. They're not as talkative as they used to be. They're not as ambitious as they used to be. They just don't feel like they can accomplish much. They've been broken down so much. The second one is emotional instability. The unpredictability of their moods and reactions can create a sense of chaos, making you feel anxious and on edge. And this is so true. I remember I read a meme one time, and I'm going to get it wrong how it was said, but it said when you look at the relationship between two people when it ends, the narcissist is the one that remains calm, while the person who suffered that A word that I don't want to use will be angry and might seem like they're unbalanced, but they were made to feel that way because of months or years of torment. They are extremely hurt, and there is trauma that occurs in a relationship with a narcissist. So it's important to really step back and listen to the words that people are saying, even though it's really hard to understand the partner of a narcissist, because a lot of the A word is subliminal almost, so it's hard to explain. But anyways, I urge you, if you hear stories like this, to just hear people out. And of course, what I'm saying is a generalization, but it is something that I have heard. The third is isolation. Narcissists often seek to control your relationship, isolating you from friends and family, which can lead to loneliness and dependence on them. There are 2 reasons for doing this. The first is that increased dependence on them, and when it is time to leave, you feel like you have no one to go to. And the second thing is that if you're isolated, you have no one to talk to about the ins and outs of your relationship. And when you can't talk to someone about it, it becomes normal to you. Versus if you had someone to say, this happened, this happened, this happened, the person in front of you could say, that's really not healthy. The narcissist wants to prevent influence on you as much as possible. And it's another great reason for them to isolate you. The fourth is loss of identity. You may start to prioritize their needs and desires over your own, leading to a diminished sense of self and lost personal interests. This is a really common one. I definitely experienced this one. If you feel you may have experienced any of these and you feel comfortable sharing, please leave it in the comments. And finally, manipulation and gaslighting. They may twist facts and deny reality, causing you to question your perceptions and experiences, which can result in confusion and self-doubt. So for a long time, because in my childhood, in my young adulthood, and in my marriage, the reality of the situation, I was lied about it, and I never trusted my gut because my gut felt something was one way, but when I would verbalize it, the opposing person would say that that's not the reality, that I stopped listening to my gut. And over the last few years, now that I've been away from this narcissistic influence of several people, I've noticed that my gut is right on, when I feel something is off, when I feel something is wrong, I'm usually correct. So what would happen, for example, in my marriage is I knew my ex was angry about something. His body language was angry, his facial expression, he just looked angry. And when I would bring it up, he would say, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So completely denying the observations that I'm making, the gut feeling that I have, that it's not fine. Something is wrong. And I resorted to telling him, look, you don't have to tell me what it is that's wrong. Just confirm that something is wrong. And sometimes he would and sometimes he wouldn't. But what are you going to do, right? There's only so much you can do when you're in one of these relationships. All right, so I think this is where I'll end the video. If you have any comments, please leave them. I would love to know what your feedback is on this video. If there's any topics that you'd like me to cover, please also leave me a note. I'll see if I can make a YouTube video about it. And if this content was interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.